Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Still Talking Podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Smith. Thank you guys for tuning in today. With me, as always, my co-host, Max Harris.
Yep.
Brenner Smith.
What's happening?
We got a special guest with us today, my guys. We have Jaden Webb.
Hoodrat. Hoodrat.
How you gonna skip the Hoodrat?
I was trying to remember if we talked about it in Avery's, but yeah, I remember that I did.
Oh, yeah.
The current 125 Flyweight Champion. What is up, my guy? How you doing?
What's up, man? Thank you for having me on your show.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming down and
Making the
hanging out
trip.
with us, man.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
Y'all be the first people that have made a trip out here
Just to
like
see us.
really.
Oh, that's
Like,
how
well,
you gotta do it.
Was
People-
Mula in town? Wasn't he
Well,
in?
people have made trips, but it's you guys are the first people to like come stay the night
Yeah.
and like
yeah.
really hang out
Yeah.
with us for an extended period of time.
Absolutely.
I feel like you gotta do it like that.
Yeah, and it's cool because you guys are gonna be our first promo where we get in someone's gym and like
Mhm.
Yeah.
we did some for OTC, but we only got one day. But we're gonna
Absolutely.
do like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
rundown for you guys.
Let's get this game back up.
Oh yeah.
If
Sorry
possible.
about that. Sorry, yeah. Got the Super Bowl
Keep
going
me
right now,
listening to
guys.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
No
not to
copyright.
downplay you at all, but I
Nah,
definitely want to
yeah.
see what it's a
Hey, I
nail
wanna
biter
see
right
it
now.
too.
Ooh.
All right, all right, man. So tell us about you. Tell us about Jade. How old are you? Where are you from? Kind of tell us about that.
I am 19 years old, and I'm from BB. I went to school in BB, but I live in Searcy, so that's about 10 minutes away from BB. But started training since I was 3. My dad always had a school,
Mhm.
so I always trained, some type of martial arts, and stuck with it, and did some wrestling in high school, and then eventually moved to MMA. So,
Dope.
We just heard a little bit of country come out there.
Wrestling.
A little bit of
Wrestling.
a little bit of Southern twang came out there.
You know, I
am.
ain't scared of you.
Do have a little country in me.
So where'd you get the hood? I know we asked Avery already. Where'd you get the Hoodrat nickname?
I just thought it was funny,
You
It's
did?
I
just
love
a
it.
funny,
It's
like
hilarious.
publicity type
I
thing.
don't think it's
so.
funny. I think it's great.
I think it's good. Like
perfect,
it's like it
honestly.
sticks. Like you remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I love when he comes out. Every time he comes out, the 501. 501.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, it took us a minute
My-
and we saw the 125 too.
Yeah.
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 Someone deciphered that, and I was like, I
Yeah.
thought you would just like, no,
Yeah.
what?
No,
No idea.
Yeah, that was really funny to me. I was showing my aunt, my uncle your video, and they were really liking it, and they were like, "Where's he from?" And the whole time that you're like 501, and I'm like, I think around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Pretty
he's from
sure.
around here. Yeah.
White County, 501. That's it.
Just before we get too far, shout out to Brenner, who cosplayed as Mick Foley today. With his torn, sleeveless button.
Let me
up.
tell you something. I have
He's
He's
had
gotten loose
I
and
have
unbuttoned the
this
top
guy-
two
listen,
buttons.
and then
yeah.
there's a missing button down here.
We're
He was
gonna-
scratching
we're
his
gonna put you
chest
on.
earlier, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
I've had this shirt for fucking probably 6 years in 5 different states.
You going night fishing
So-
after this?
Showed up
Absolutely. What are you
looking
talking
homeless.
about? Yeah.
Like,
We're gonna put him on with Shane.
I'm gonna chop
That
one of
shit
y'all
in the
motherfuckers
ring.
up. Y'all are bait. One
I'm
of y'all
hunting
is bait.
bullfrogs when we're done.
all right.
I said day one on this podcast that I was a fan of the culture. If I want to fucking dress up like this, I will. Goddammit! I have my 6 shot out in the car. Don't make this get serious, okay?
He said my 6 shot. This town ain't big enough
His
for
town,
the
yeah,
two of
his
us.
town ain't big enough for your fucking mouth.
All right. So I guess one of the cool things, one of the first when we had our first encounter at the weigh-ins over here, was I found out that you were actually fighting the guy on the last at PF4. You actually fought the guy who was your only loss
Yeah.
Mhm.
at the time.
Mhm.
Which
And,
was a fucking textbook finish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
great
really
fight.
was.
I worked hard for that one. That one was
Mhm.
the one we put, all of our teammates put our time into. So
Well, he looked up
Paid
when
off.
somebody called his name, and you just, whoop.
played
You know,
it smart.
I
Under
mean-
the arm,
Well, no.
set it up.
No, what it was is you were on his back, and someone might have called his name, but like
No, I'm just saying
His
that.
head was
I was
kinda
just joking.
coming
He
up.
looked up like someone
Oh,
called his. I was just
yeah.
joking. Yeah.
he reached under his arm. You reached under his arm and like
Yeah.
punched him. and
Oh,
he
yeah.
popped his head
Yeah.
up,
Popped
and he
his
left
head
it
up,
up
yeah.
way too long. And
That's
you
why
just
you gotta
slipped
set
it.
it. People get to, they get to like they want to keep punching that situation. They want to
Yeah.
just keep punching.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's ways you can set it up that that people don't think of inside the ring. So I try to. In the moment, it's kind of hard to think of something in the moment, but I'm glad I thought of that because he popped his head right up for that rear naked
Oh
choke.
no,
Left
split
right up
second.
forward.
It was textbook. I mean, I was probably the same distance like you as me,
Yeah.
you from me, filming it. And when his head came up and you,
I actually
I-
saw
I
you.
mean,
I
I
saw
said-
you. Yeah, I saw you right there.
Yeah.
I was trying to look at you a little bit, look at the camera.
I had some people talk to me about someone because Cody's from here, so people are always approaching me. Someone was like, "Man, you saw where Cody slammed that dude?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"I fucking filmed it."
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Where do you think the
Well,
video came
yeah.
from?" It's my
Everybody here
fucking YouTube, man. I filmed it, dude.
Everybody here in Hot Springs does that to me when I say they're like, "Oh, yeah, you cover the Cody Beck thing," and I'm like, "No. There's a lot of other shit that we
He
like,
was-
I mean, Cody Beck is
32
good. I
fighters.
love him to death, but
Yeah.
like, absolutely, there's
There
a
was-
lot of other shit
Yeah,
that
there
we're
was like
covering.
25,
Yeah.
26. There's 26 fighters. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it was a lot of fighters.
And
you
I
know.
because I said that to I think it was J&B's liquor store. They had like a.
I love those guys.
I do too,
I
but
fucking
they
love
had
those
a
Shout out to
peak
A-Rams.
fighting flyer in their liquor store, but I think they were really only promoting Cody.
Yeah,
And
that
there was a
sounds about
lot
right.
of other fighters.
I think they're actually one of the.
No, they are. Yeah, I think they're
Well-
either sponsors or they're good friends.
Well,
but-
yeah, as I said, it's like his hometown.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was crazy the way, like I said in the Avery Wilson interview. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. Or if we haven't dropped that yet,
My
be
boy.
on the lookout for that. We're not sure what exactly order we're gonna drop these in. It just depends how quick I get them edited, I guess. So. Oh, I said in that interview that big shout out to the BB Cersei area. You guys have a lot bigger following than I thought, man. Your
Oh,
video
man.
is
It-
the second most watched video on our YouTube channel.
I mean, that's all the BB support, man. BB, Cersei, Cabot, in that area. So, shout out to that area because without them, without them looking at it and viewing it and putting in their support, I wouldn't be doing it still. So,
The PF4 promo is the highest viewed, and I figured it would because it encompassed, like I said, all 26 fighters, and everybody got the
yeah.
link. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
but I'm
I
pretty
really
sure
liked
that
that
you're
highlight
the-
video too. That
Yeah.
it was sweet. It was
But
cool.
you're I'm pretty sure you're the thumbnail for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty sure he
Yeah,
was.
That's awesome, man.
No, and that is. Do we pick out those, or does it usually just generate?
YouTube generates like 5 or 3. It
Yeah.
generates 3,
Uh-huh.
and it gives you the it gives you this thing. And there was like one was like I think it was like a weird ass shot. There was like a shot of some people on the ground. There was like a corner shot, and then there was Jaden shadow boxing. I was like,
But we'll
That's
edit.
gonna-
We'll edit that part out. And We'll
Yeah.
talk about how
And I
you
was
were the
just
best.
pumped up for that one. I swear. I mean,
yeah.
just coming from a loss versus somebody, it's like it'll take a lot out from you,
Mhm.
But then it's hard to get back on track after a loss, believe it or not,
How'd you
but-
feel about it going in, knowing that?
Avery.
I was nervous,
Yeah,
I
were
mean,
you?
I didn't know
yeah,
if
I
you
was
were in there
nervous.
on that shit, bro.
I may didn't show it that much because you can't show fear, but
Uh-huh.
Right.
I was a little bit nervous. Of course you're gonna be doubting a little bit, but I knew if I just stuck to the game plan,
Mhm.
and I knew I trained hard enough for a fight. Before that one, I just knew, I knew I was gonna go in there and dominate.
Yeah. It's gotta be a good feeling to get that monkey off your
Oh
back.
gosh,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, and you feel like you fight a little better with that, like the nerves versus.
I
just,
do
mean,
actually.
going in big headed.
Yes,
Mhm.
I feel
Yeah.
like under pressure is whenever I do my best. I
absolutely.
don't know why. It's just
I'm the same way with most of the things in my life. Like
Mhm.
I do a lot better, just
And-
off the cuff. If
Unlocks that
if
clutch
I'm
gene.
nervous, you kind of use that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, man, like I said, it was when we first talked, I was like, man, this is crazy because I think that like I said, you won the title, and then there was that one loss, man. I was saying it was kind of your defining moment, man. You got your
Exactly, I
shot to prove that you you have what it takes to.
I got that second shot. I wasn't gonna let that go.
Yeah,
wasn't gonna.
man, I think that was awesome, and it was defending your title. It wasn't for the
Mhm.
title; it was defending your title.
defending it.
dope.
It was the second time. The first time. And you saw a lot more. You didn't see fast submissions or nothing. I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
went out there and stood
Mhm.
with them a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
and,
Well rounded.
One of my favorite
Threw my
moments in the
kicks,
entire event
dominated.
was when you dropped him, or I think you kicked him, and he went for like a takedown, but you kicked him and he fell, and you was like, "No, stand up, dog. We running this." I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yo,"
yeah.
I was like, "He's trying to bag." I was like, "Oh, shit." I was hyped, man.
I
was
actually
like, oh.
timed that leg kick perfect. I don't know how I did it in the moment, but I thought of it. It was a smart move, He
Mhm.
kept bouncing on that leg, so I kept seeing it. And then eventually it caught to me, kick that leg.
We were talking about it on the other podcast. You and Tyler Stewart were like the only ones I were mad at about going to the ground because like you guys were actively on the ground. There wasn't a lot of like hugging or like jujitsu grappling.
Yeah,
you guys were on the ground action.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were transitioning, throwing punches. Trying
more
to
like a
submit
mixed
each other.
martial arts base. Like
big
whatever.
shout out to you because one thing, like not to knock, but there was a time where he had you in that same choke that you finished.
He really
with.
did. And,
he had you in the same exact.
If you see, I watched the video a couple times, or I watched the video live, but if you see, like
a couple times he's in his
fucking
basement.
I caught his hand. I tried to catch his hand, and I kind of lost my balance, and I fell kind of forward, and that's when he grabbed it, and he went into the corner with it, and I was just sitting there, and I was just holding it,
Yeah.
And I was just like trying to get my breath. I was like, I ain't getting choked out right now. If I'm getting choked out, I'm getting passed out. I mean that's the bottom line. But I was holding it, just holding my breath a little bit and I just wiggled my way out of there somehow. I feel like he lost all his energy in that transition too.
And it's the
no, that was a great fight. I mean, like there was a lot of good fights that night, but that was a great fight.
Yeah, it really was.
Thank you.
It's a true testament, you know what I mean, to you as a fighter, in a sense of like you had that defining moment, like I said, because you lost to him, but also in a sense of like I don't like trying to bring up like other fighters during your guys' interview, but like I said, like I feel like there's fighters that are on just a different level. Like you and Avery and Ashton Kirby, you guys are on a different level. Like I said, in Ashton's fight, there was a moment where he got caught in a buggy choke, and like I said, I have it on film where he relaxes, and then he's like, "Oh shit, this guy has me," and then he starts trying to get out.
A sneaky little.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a testament as a fighter because you got in that position and you fought through it, and you were like, he's not choking me, and I'll be damned if I lose this, you know. And you fought back, and then boom, you hit him with the same thing. And bro, there's a moment where like I was trying to get a good shot of it, like it was like a clean picture, but I just couldn't. I didn't have a fast enough frame rate. Where like you were like on his back, like riding his back, just like throwing punches, and I was like, God, I was trying to get the picture.
I was just trying to find them.
Oh
yeah, elbows too. I was trying to find them little openings.
Dude.
That takes energy out of you.
I never saw anyone throw an under the armpit punch like from the back. I never seen anyone get a full clinch.
I was right there.
I just don't understand why I don't see that more. It's just.
All right, so but the one thing though that I did want to point out was that like we were talking about how like you said like you don't see a lot of people doing that, and I think that's a testament to the fact that you've been training most of your life. You know what I mean?
No, we put in time. Me, Gary, Avery, and Kevin and Shane and Weston, and
it's a testament to the fact that like you're doing different stuff and stuff that people are not used to because your training is so in depth that's like people aren't used to that. People weren't ready for that because nobody's doing it. They're like, how do you train for stuff that no one's doing? You know what I mean? You just have to.
Yeah, at first, you start learning about it. Like, I learned about it a little bit, and then eventually I caught on. Like, you got to get in there and you got to do your rounds each and every day, Like, don't be slipping, because it ain't going to help you out any in the cage,
It was the same thing.
I try to get up and go every day, All of us. We'll all be in there.
I'm sure it's
sparring.
one of those things that, you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
You got to do it all the time.
It's more about learning. It's learning your body too. You got to learn your body and the cardio and the
know what you're capable of.
Yeah,
it's the same thing that happened with the Conor McGregor fight with Cowboy recently. Like, bro, how do you train for those elbows or those shoulder blows when nobody's fucking throwing those?
Yeah.
When's the last time someone threw a fucking shoulder blow and broke somebody's nose?
Yeah.
He broke his orbital bone. I think he broke his orbital bone. Like, dude, how do you train for that when no one's doing that? That's what I was saying. I was watching that and I was like, I've never seen anyone straddle someone's back like that. I've seen people have their backs, but I've never seen anyone in that position with their hooks in. You know what I mean? And he was trying to roll you and like, and it's. You got that star power the same kind of way. Like when you flipped him on his fucking head, dude, that was crazy, bro.
Follow with the uppercut.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was a great shot. You rolled him off and you fucking came right. I mean,
we got it from two angles.
I backdoored on him and, kicked both of it. He had both of his hooks in, and I kicked both legs out and backdoored and he really couldn't do anything besides, flip over. So
that was a good.
I don't know what happened in your first fight, but the second one, I mean, that
was a good shot. And we had 3 cameras rolling, and for about 97 out of 100, I got at least one good angle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
We had like 2 really good fucking shots of you flipping him and catching that punch.
Do you stick on that at all? Do you did you kind of pinpoint what do you think happened in your first fight? Like, what went wrong?
Well,
is there anything that you can say on that?
Well, like,
because I mean, you did phenomenal in your second fight. So I mean, how do you feel about
the first fight? I came in the first round, I was doing the same thing. Like, I was putting them in every submission possible in the first round.
Yeah.
But I was like a lot younger. I was probably a year. I was 17, I think, my second fight. But I was younger and I just didn't have the MMA knowledge. You learn every single fight. I
and
swear.
How old was he at that time? Do you know?
I don't know.
I
I really 20 something. I know that. I was 17. He was 20 something. So yeah. Usually, they're a lot older than me. So
yeah.
It's just think that you guys.
And that's just, I mean, when you've been in it this long, I mean, I'm sure that's just something that you're used to by now.
Yeah,
them being
and
older than you.
it was. I won my first fight real quick. I came in my second fight, kind of big headed, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
Got caught. I mean, it ain't no excuses about it, but I'm glad we got to get in there for a rematch because I really wanted that rematch right after that fight. But I had to wait a little bit, and all the fights and time, all I had to wait, and it came back up in the future. And it just so happened I had the belt at the time, so that was a little weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Like I said, I thought it was a little cooler that you had already defended it, and you'd already won it, and it was like, boom, that's it. You got to defend it.
Yeah.
Get your one loss. Like I said, it was a real defining moment, man. I think you really.
I mean, you got to lose one of them. I mean,
you gotta
happen.
You got to lose something.
Now that I got that away, I know how to lose. I know, I know what to do when I lose now. But I've been in that position before, so
And it's like, and when you take that loss, it's like it kind of gives you like, all right, that's my weakness. You know what I mean? That's you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And you can prevent losses now. Man, I just wanted to shout out and say that I got lost by the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's still just crazy, man.
I'm happy
They
for
just
y'all.
came back
I'm happy
in the
for
last
y'all.
3 minutes. I'm happy for every team.
Neither one of these are my teams. I don't give a shit.
It was really
I'm
good.
happy for y'all, man.
It was really gonna hurt me, man, to see.
You're like, we got to get in this fucking car and go all the way back to BB.
All right, moving on.
So, how many fights did you have before you got your first title fight?
I actually had 2. I was actually on, I was on a losing streak.
And
but
then, so
I was 1-1.
Okay.
And I just lost to 1, and I took a little time off, and I really couldn't get no dang fights. Like, I could not get a fight. I
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It could be anything, but
I think it was.
I know. It may have been my age. It may have been they didn't know who I was at the time, but like, I just couldn't get it was hard to get fights. And so Peak, they came, with a great offer, and I was like, yeah, I'll fight for a title.
Yeah.
Because
Why not?
I'm training every day anyway. I'll fight for a title. So and that kind of popped up, and actually,
and that had to have been a great phone call to get.
Oh yeah, that was a great was a great phone because originally I had a fight scheduled, and the dude backed out on Peak, and so he was like, okay, he backed out, so let's get Rico up in here, and y'all can fight for a title. And I said, I'm down with that, So
hell yeah.
That's what's up.
So I guess we'll jump in. Tell us about 501 Fight Club. Tell us about where you fit in. Tell us about how it all came to. Tell us what the business is on 501.
Just my dad owns it, and
shout out Kamish.
Yeah, shout out.
That's my guy.
Shout out OG. But he's always owned one since I've been little. I actually lived in Benton before BB, and he owned a pretty decent school in Benton. He had a lot of students, and I was training there at a young age, and we moved to BB eventually, and we moved a couple places, but then we had a fight team. It's been like this. Owning a school is one of them jobs. It's a roller coaster, but now we finally got a solid dedicated team. We're on our way to the top for real, because all them killers in there every single day.
No, every one of y'all. I mean, fucking for real. That's a very intimidating gym. Like if you know what I mean, just the wrong person were to stumble in and be like, oh fuck, there's a lot of people in here that are fucking machines.
And that happens. That happens. They come in there and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't.
It's not what I thought.
Who is this? But when they come in there and they actually get to start training with us, then they'll see. You know, they can't say anything if they're coming over there and they're going to sit down on the bleachers or something and watch it. No, whenever you get in that cage with us, it's a lot different. You know, and whenever you get in training with us, it's a lot different too, because we all take it seriously in training. You know, we have our fun moments, but we take it serious. You know,
Oh yeah.
Gary hitting mitts and Avery hitting me in the head, so you know.
Yeah. Man, one thing that's always been kind of crazy to me is a lot of people, like smaller guys, like I said, people probably don't give you the credit that you deserve because like you're 125. But when you get to like UFC, in my opinion, the smaller weight classes are some of the best.
Yeah.
Some of the best.
They're gonna be the
speed,
fastest.
baby.
Like Cejudo, bro, some of the
Cejudo's
best
a
fights.
monster,
Like
yeah.
Damian Maya and like
And now let's
TJ
talk-
Dillashaw.
Let's talk about this. You know, because we talked about it with Avery. Do you get that a lot where your places and they're like,
Yeah, they
all
test
right,
you.
where's the lightweight champ?
They're like, bro, shut up,
Where's
I'll
the
knock you out.
Where's
And
the
you're like,
125?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
let me fight a 19-year-old right now.
I always have the people that test me. You know, always.
Yeah.
Always. You know, because I'm the littlest person, so
Yeah.
I've always
They're
had
They're
like,
like,
oh,
oh,
you're
this
a
motherfucker?
fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
my strength is like, you know, I guess it's looked down upon, but you know, I still have that natural strength. It's
Well, and
different.
that's it. I mean, people fucking
And it's-
make that mistake every
Well,
day.
Yeah, and you
Well,
don't have
you
to
know.
have strength to win fights. That's what I hate hearing all the time. You do not have to have strength.
Like
It's-
just the pure
you know,
muscle.
If
No,
you
there's a
have
lot more than
technique,
that.
man,
Yeah.
it's a wrap. Like
And this has nothing to do with you, but I want to ask it. How's your dad in the ring still? Yeah.
How's my dad in the ring?
Yeah.
Well, he used to do it with us, you know, but now he has a commission job, so like he ain't
He can't
really
come in and spar really with you or
no,
anything like that.
but
Okay.
he still teaches. Like he's a
Yeah.
hell of a teacher, you know. Like he's always been my teacher, you know. He always teaches me, and he used to do it with us, but
That's got to be such an awesome, like, plus to have. Just
he's a bad dude.
being
though,
your
you
dad as well as your coach. You know what I mean?
Big
That's,
shout out to him because he was super professional.
if it's
Yeah,
done
he's really
right,
nice,
you know what I
You know
mean?
what I mean?
Yeah.
Anytime I was like, because I was asking him about, the documentary, and he was like, hey, man, I'm cool. He was like, anything you need to talk about, just talk about it with Jaden. He was like, I'm hands off. And he, even when you won, he came in, he gave you a hug. He's like, I love you, man. He stepped out. He kept it real professional.
He's a professional guy.
Yeah,
I love
he
him.
was super professional, man. Super cool guy. We had a.
And at the same time, he's a badass.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, of that I have no doubt. I've seen those sleeves on the mother. He's an intimidating guy.
Yeah.
I was talking to them, and I even told him to talk to you about it. I was like a bunch of his profile pictures on Facebook is just him like flipping Jaden. He's like 6 foot in the air, horizontal, just like flipping.
See, I grew up with him, so like I learned that he's just one of them guys that that just look by looks you just know like don't try him.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude,
Yeah.
Some people do, but
I mean, I'm sure even
they
without
learn
the
real
fucking
quick,
badge that
'cause
he wears,
he has
sure,
no filter at all
He's
whenever it's
got-
in those situations.
He's never like dressed like it, but he gives me that like old school biker kind of feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like you just give him respect just because.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
just got that kind of vibe. Like
Exactly.
you're just like you could be yes sir. You know what I mean? He's a super nice guy. So I guess we'll hop back in here. Man, I guess just to reiterate, man, I really think you have that star power. Like I really think you have some like legitimate talent.
for
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Like Avery, I think you're on. Like I was saying about Avery, and I think you're on a whole different level, man. Like there's guys who train, and you can tell that they train well, and then there's guys you can tell they're fighters, man. You're
Well,
one of those guys that's just a fighter. You throwing punches, you take it to the ground. Anything you need to do, you win by any means necessary. You got out of a submission that you used to end that same fight.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like you got out of it, and we're like, that was a good ass move. I'm gonna choke his ass out with that
Well,
one.
and
you know?
you're getting your name out there too, which is, you know what I mean? Like there is a lot of fighters in Arkansas, but a lot of them aren't doing that. You know what I mean? A lot of them aren't really pushing out, and it takes more than just showing up and fighting and training to go pro.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you just want to fight, then that's great.
you don't
but-
want to just show up and do run through the motions. You actually want to get in there and actually do
Stand
the
out.
rounds. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I won't name any guys, but like this, I talked to specifically one fighter and was like, man, you gotta like market yourself, and I was like, you gotta share the video and like spam it to people, and he was like, no, I don't really do that, and I
And
was
people
like,
are so open arms with
What?
their photography and their videos and stuff. Like
Yeah,
when you
I do.
ask for people, they'll give it to you
Yeah.
around here. Most of it, you know what I mean? So it's all free, most of it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the
And
stuff
I
that you can be
would-
doing yourself.
I use that to the advantage too. I definitely share, everything.
And
You know,
that's
all
my thing with people is I was like, dude, when you fuck with me, you don't even have to promote. You just have to share what I
Yeah,
share.
yeah.
I was like, I'll
Yeah.
tag
Like
you
as
in
soon
it.
as you
All
fuck
do
with
is
us,
yeah.
you've got at least us sharing it,
I
and
was
then
like-
there's at least 40 other people sharing
I'm
it.
gonna
at
make
least.
a big post, and you know what I mean. Like when I post the highlight reels, like I said, I try not to show like try to have anonymity. I try to show like I'm not president to anybody, or you know what I mean. I'm not picking any kind of favorites because I like everybody. You know what I mean. And I hated to see some guys lose, man, because they were super nice guys. And
Yeah.
I knew them.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. I try to stay animate though. You know what
Hey
I mean.
man,
'Cause-
somebody's got to lose.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
it happens.
Yeah.
That's
Somebody's
when you
gotta
learn.
lose.
If you take a nail, it's learning, not
Yeah.
losses. You
And
learn.
shout out to
every single one of
everybody.
them.
Anyone that lost, nobody was really like, oh fuck this. Everybody was, I mean, there were some guys that were.
Oh, yeah,
like,
good
absolutely.
sports,
Yeah.
good sports
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
You're
That's
obviously
good, yeah.
upset that you lost, but everyone had good sportsmanship. Everybody pretty much hugged it up.
Oh, yeah.
Even like, even Aiden and Dawson, who they
Yeah.
like, they were.
I was
had-
gonna
they had
say,
a
I
little-
was like, I thought that was gonna be the one that maybe there'd be like a,
Yeah,
like snuffed handshake or something like that. But everybody came through pretty cool.
but that's what training teaches you.
Yeah.
It teaches you to take a loss. It
Exactly,
teaches you,
you know.
man, someone better to you. You got to man up, shake his hand.
You
be done
have
with
to.
it,
You
know?
can't. You can't just walk off.
If you meet someone
Yeah.
better, it's time to
Like,
get better.
That
That's
time
is
to
just,
go
you
back
know,
to the
most
gym.
unprofessional thing. Exactly.
I mean, that kid was 16 years old. You know what I mean? Shout out to him for getting in the cage. 16.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Moving on, is there?
Does a really good job.
So tell us about like when you went like in high school. Like, what did you do in high school?
So like I wrestled most of the time in high school, like every 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Oh, I saw a video where you slammed some kid.
Yeah, I think on my Instagram,
yeah.
Yeah, that was in state. So we would wrestle all throughout the season and then go to state.
Mhm.
But I did pretty good, in wrestling. It ain't my favorite thing. I love wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I have wrestling, but just all of it combined is where I really like it.
Right.
Yeah.
All of the combat, just all combined. But
That's what I like. Was it was like kickboxing and it's jiu-jitsu and it's
yeah, you'll
Oh,
see
absolutely.
stand
so
up.
many
I mean,
different aspects, so many different styles in there too. And my style it's a weird style. It's everything. I got a little bit of everything in me. Wrestling, BJJ, you name it, kickboxing, boxing. I've been in the ring with every combat sport. So
it makes it really exciting to the fact that it's like, you can come in and have a straight up, like Avery's are they straight up box. He has boxing matches.
Yeah.
They don't go to the ground. I mean, they do.
Yeah,
But
exactly,
they trying to stand and bang, dude. That's, you know what I mean, what they do.
and that's
then
that
you-
division.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. But I mean, you have guys like that, and then you have like Don's fight. He did a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot
Yeah,
of ground,
yep.
a lot of moving. You know what I mean? And then it's cool to see something to where like you have
He
no
actually
idea.
looked good
what's
on the
going
ground. I was
Yeah.
really,
He was
I've
very
never,
good on
I've
the
never,
ground. I mean,
I didn't see him very much on the
He
ground.
could have been better. There was a
Yeah.
lot of openings that I feel like he missed, and this is just me as someone who doesn't
Oh,
know what
yeah.
he's talking about.
Because we
But-
were down by his corner.
By
And
better,
it
was
I
on
think
top of
like
his coach.
I
Like,
think
yeah.
he definitely could have finished the fight because he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
beast,
Yeah.
But
Brenner was talking about he was
at
down
the same
there.
time, he may wanted to get them cage experience in.
Yeah.
So
We were close to his corner, and Brenner was down there, and he was talking about how his coach was like, knee him in the ribs one time for the love of God.
Absolutely. No, he goes, yeah,
Knee
he was
him.
like, if you don't if you don't throw one knee, I'm gonna get in the ring with you right now. And then there was a time again, he was back on him. He goes, Donovan, knee him in the butt. He can't protect that. Knee him in the butt. Like, I mean,
Shout out
he was
DeJuan
yelling
Pittman.
at him, bro. He was like, he can't protect that.
yeah, DeJuan,
Shout out DeJuan
he's a
Pittman.
beast, man.
Super
Yeah.
cool. Shout out his kid. That kid, dude. When we did footage at OTC, I kept seeing. I was like, "This kid looks." I had no idea he was DeJuan's son. I was like, "Who is this kid?" This kid looked crisp. He was throwing good kicks. He was fast. He's gonna be.
Yeah,
he's gonna be something cool.
Yeah,
he's gonna be something good when he gets in
I've
there.
seen him in the cage.
Yeah,
He's fast with us. He's crisp.
And I like the way
he knows what he's doing. So
I like the way he's not jumping into a fight real quick. I like how he's like training and stuff like that. Super cool. He said he's got some stuff
Patience,
in
man.
mind,
Just
but
one
he's
of them young beasts.
he said he's got
young
some.
beasts.
He said he's got some fight opportunities coming up or something like that.
Mhm.
But there's nothing like set in stone. I like the fact that he's probably been training his whole life. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. I think he actually just won the fight.
Oh,
fight.
did he?
Yeah, pretty sure.
No way.
Yeah, he
Oh,
wasn't the pyramid card, Avery?
Who?
DeJuan's son.
Yeah, he was on the right.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
really?
he did win.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Right,
That's-
right. Yeah.
After,
Mhm.
and he had got the decision win.
Yeah, I
heck
thought I
yeah.
heard.
Good
Yeah.
Hell
for
yeah.
him. Good for him. Okay, I
Hell
thought
yeah.
that must have been someone else. I thought he had. Okay, I didn't know about that. We didn't end up making out to Rogers, but anyway, but yeah, and then you've got guys, you know what I mean, that like Cody, they'll come in the ring and they pick you up and they slam you down. You know what I mean?
goddamn.
You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you never know.
What I mean?
You know,
In
there's
the
all
ring.
different types of styles. You know?
And then
have
I mean,
to
he
be
did
ready.
it 3 times. He did it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's one of those things where like you, I mean, when you don't know what you're talking about and you're just someone who's spectating, you're like, why does he keep letting him do that to you? And it's like, it's just what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go in with a certain game plan and you're like, I'm not gonna let him do that shit, and then he's underneath you. You know?
I would never like take credit for anything or from anybody, but legitimately, the night before we were on Facebook Live, and I said we were in a different interview, but I said to them, Alex was in the studio, and I was like, you know when you should shoot? Said when you've never fucking shot ever in your career.
Yeah.
I said when
You've
they've
got, like,
never,
a one.
because we were talking about how some guy like Ben Askren got caught shooting because he does it all the fucking time.
Yeah, he,
And I'm
he
like,
just, you know, he don't
Yeah.
set it up. You
I
can't.
was like, you
can't
should
do
only
that
do
in a
that
fight.
when
Yeah.
you've never fucking done it. And then Cody came out the next night and was just shooting,
Boom.
shooting.
Just-
And I was like, dude, I told him in the night before, I was like, that's when you should shoot, is when you've never done it. And then it kind of happened, and I was like, dude, I don't know if he
And
was.
from
I'm
hearing
sure he
about
was
Cody,
watching.
he was a stand-up fighter. You know, I've
Yeah,
never, you know,
yeah.
so I've never seen wrestling or anything
Crazy,
like
yeah.
that. So
Because we didn't have wrestling
props
in
to
high
him,
school.
for real. Yeah.
We didn't have wrestling in
Yeah.
high school, so we went to school together. Shout out. So, man, like I said, your video's blowing up. So tell us about your next fight that you just booked last night when we were hanging out. You were like, man, just signed for another fight. Tell us about it. I won't give all the details. I'll let you talk about it.
So I am going to be fighting for another title outside of Arkansas. So
Dope.
it's gonna be in Oklahoma. So
We are going to attempt to make that trip.
Yeah.
We're going to get the schedule and we're going to attempt, because I have family in Oklahoma, so we're going to try to work something out. My cousin, I'm sure, would let us
and
crash.
I'll let everybody know whenever, you know, like the poster comes out and everything about who the fighter is, you know, so we won't have to say
And when
names.
is
But
it?
if
What date again?
March 21st in Oklahoma.
March 21st in Oklahoma.
Dude, okay, March 21st. We're going to have to write that down. But,
Yeah, we'll do that.
all right, my guy, you want to go ahead and shout out your sponsors for us?
Shout out my sponsors, Oakley Trucking, Mad Dog Construction, Hunley Construction, Eric's Pool Service, and Andrew Reynolds for massage. And all the support from 501 Fight Club, all my family, my dad, you know, my sisters, my mom, and my coaches, Gary, striking coach, and all my teammates, you know, Avery, Weston, Andy, Kevin, Parker, Chuck, all these different, Shane, you know, all training partner, all types of trainer. Oh, Dalton Nasty, yeah. Dalton Nasty, the most motivated one there. But, yeah, we try to get in there every single day and put in work, and, you know, it's really looking good for 501, so
Heck
I'm
yeah,
excited.
man. We're super excited to come up and do a promo, man. Like I said, we're
For
gonna
sure.
try.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to schedule that in the next couple of weeks before his fight, man. Like to get up there and, like I said,
Absolutely.
we're gonna try to do something like we don't want to rip off UFC embedded, but we're gonna try to do something similar. You know what I mean? Get with you guys in your daily
sure, for
routine.
sure.
We're gonna try to get with these guys like early in the morning and follow them throughout
That'd
the
be
day, and
awesome.
you know go through training with them and you know hang out and just see what they got going on. Just, you know, talk to them and get real personal. So, you guys be on the lookout for that. Anything else you want to cover, man, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, nothing else besides thank you for letting me come on here, you
Absolutely.
know, and
Dude,
talk
yeah,
to
thanks for
y'all.
coming
But
on.
Hopefully this will be one of
Thank
many.
Absolutely.
shout out to the Pops for, you know,
Yeah,
owning the BMA. So
shout out to the commissioner.
Commish.
Super, dude, super cool guy. Like I said, I rolled up and introduced myself because they saw me doing all the interviews and stuff, and I saw them kept looking at me, and I know that they were like, what is going on over here? Guys giving out protein bars and Gatorade.
yeah.
Talking to everybody. So I approached him and was like,
I
hey.
thought it was cool too, so I was like, you know,
Yeah.
I was gonna jump all on that. So
Yeah, I just approached him and was like, hey, man, you know, what's up? I'm doing my thing. I gave him cards, and they were super cool. Him and Mr. Teague, they were super
Yeah.
awesome. And when I saw your dad at the event, I approached him, and dude, he hooked us up, man. He got us
Definitely.
he got us he
Very
hooked us up with
professional.
he hooked us up with the inspector, the older guy with the beard, and he got us the bands to get us backstage.
Oh, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
super
yeah.
cool,
that's
man.
awesome.
They hooked us up, and I started looking. I was like, "Oh, these are for corners." I was like, "Okay, cool." So we ended up getting the bag. It was super awesome, man. Shout out to them. But well, thank you for coming by, my guy. We're looking forward to your fight. Like I said, I'm gonna try my damnedest to make it up there. We're probably gonna make it happen.
We'll
like
keep
I said,
in touch. So.
we got time. Like I said, and we got your photos and stuff. I'm gonna be getting those out, so we'll definitely get those to you, man. Thank you for coming by.
Yes,
we look
sir.
forward
Thank
to your
you.
next fight.
Yep.
I guess that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't
thank y'all
seen
for
it,
shouting out.
go check out our YouTube. Depending on when we release these, the Avery Wilson interview, if it's already been released,
These
go check it out.
hands.
If this
These
interview,
hands.
if it hasn't been released, be on the lookout for it.
Go watch that shit.
Right now.
Go check out our YouTube, man. 2,300 views. You guys are blowing up.
And
we
even
just
more coming.
Yeah, we just checked
coming.
today. We're over 7,500 views for the podcast total. So in just 3 months, we just released our 12th weekly podcast. 3 months, man. Shout out to you guys. 7,000.
Boom.
We actually won our publisher's Rising Star podcast. We talked about that before. Big shout out to you guys, man. You guys are doing it big. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Cersei, BB area, Cabot, all you guys for all your support, man.
501, thank you.
Jaden,
501.
your dad, thank you guys so much. Everybody
sir.
tune
Thank
in.
you
Check
for-
out the YouTube. Thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody have a good night.